There is objection. Question number 5, the Honourable Lianne Dalziel.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Canterbury Earthquake Recovery. Does he stand by the Prime Minister's statement that the government's offer to insured residential homeowners whose properties had been red zoned by the government is, and I quote, incredibly fair, unquote? If so, why?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Yes, those valuations were higher than likely market valuations in 2010.
The Honourable Lianne Dalziel.
Does he share the Prime Minister's concerns that some residents will be out of pocket by more than $150,000 and pointing the finger at the insurers? And if so, what steps has he taken to ensure that people are treated incredibly fairly by their insurers?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, the relationship between any policyholders and their insurers is one that can have an arbitration done through the Insurance Ombudsman. And also, Mr Speaker, I think as time passes, the incentive for insurers to settle those accounts is going to go greater. Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order, the Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, I'm deeply troubled by this question being raised in the House by this member. Mr Speaker, my reasons for that are that this member raised in her address and reply speech on the 15th of February a personal concern about how much she was being paid as a red zone recipient.
Order. I've heard sufficient of the point of order. An issue with respect to order in the House would be one as to whether the question is in order. This is question time, and the only relevant issue is whether questions are in order. This question is in order. Every member has a right to ask questions that are in order. Now, there may be matters ministers wish to include in replies, but what the member was just raising is not a matter for a point of order, because the question is in order, and the only issue that could be raised could be to suggest that the Speaker had been in error in accepting a question on the order paper that was not in order. It's my view as Speaker the question is in order, and I will uphold the rights of all members to ask questions that are in order. The Honourable Lianne Dalziel.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order, the Honourable Lianne Dalziel.
I seek the leave of the House to make a personal explanation with respect to my personal situation being a resident in a red zone in Christchurch.
Leave is sought for that purpose. Is there any objection? There is no objection. The Honourable Lianne Dalziel.
Mr Speaker, I have made no secret to this House or to the public that I am affected by the residential red zone decision made by the Cabinet on the 23rd of June last year. That decision has placed me in a personally difficult position, but I don't believe that it is a conflict of interest for me to raise questions in the House, because I am not the only person that is affected in the way that I have been affected. I am more than happy to table in this House the government offer to me. I'm more than happy to table in the House the offer that the insurance company gave me last week, or me and my husband. It does belong to my husband as well. And I'm also very happy to explain to people that I've only got 8 weeks left to choose one of the government's voluntary offers, or they will be withdrawn from me in a situation where I only got my offer from my insurance company last week, which puts us in a position where we can negotiate with them for the first time for a financial settlement. So the discussion around these issues with respect to a 9-month offer being made to people in the residential red zone has actually stepped into a framework where people do need to understand that not everybody has been given 9 months.
I thank the honourable member. Does the member have a further supplementary question? The Honourable Lianne Dalziel.
Consider the offer is incredibly fair to the Cairns family in Kaiapoi, who would be out of pocket to the tune of $200,000 if they tried to replace what they have now with option 1, and if so, why?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, with all due respect to that family, what they have now is an exceptionally damaged property on land that cannot be rebuilt on. That is fair.
The Honourable Lianne Dalziel.
Mr Speaker. Is he aware that insurance companies have advised residents in the red zone that their properties can be repaired, despite having previously advised their property was a rebuild, thereby limiting their offer to one of indemnity? And what sort of pressure does he think this is placed on people the amount of pressure that has been placed on people who have been told by the government that they will give them even less if they don't accept that offer?
The Honourable Jerry Brown.
Mr. Speaker, so far more than 3,000 people have accepted a government offer and been settled. Mr. Speaker, further, many of those people are in a far better position than they would have been in normal circumstances. There will be variations. That's clear. When you're dealing with 7,000 damaged properties and the government's making an offer that allows people to make some choices, then I think that is fair. In the member's case, we know the difficulty. She's being offered $87,200 for her land. She wants $200,000, and she made that clear at the Select Committee. But it's not easy just to put the hand in the taxpayer's pocket and pay it out to members of Parliament who are grumpy about the money being offered to them.
The Honourable Lianne Dalziel. Order. Order.
It's okay. Who cares?
Order.
I don't care.
Order. Order. I'm on my feet. Order. Now, these matters are sensitive matters. I've upheld the member's right to ask questions, and I'll watch Minister's answers. And, the member sought to make a personal explanation and brought into the House her personal situation. It has been talked about at a Select Committee. The Minister referred to that. I'll be watching matters very carefully, but I want the House to come back to order. The Honourable Lianne Dalziel, further supplementary question.
Can the Minister confirm that 3/4 of those who have accepted the red zone offer have accepted the land-only offer, and that means that they will accept the bulk of their settlement from their insurer? And is he aware that some red zone residents have not yet been able to resolve their disputes with their insurance company, and will he therefore consider leaving the options open to enable residents to make an informed decision on the voluntary offer?
The Honourable Jerry Brown.
Mr. Speaker, to the first question, yes, and that indicates that people are making sensible choices for their future.
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Speaker, I seek leave pursuant to an earlier supplementary question to table 4 documents. The first document is a document showing that the Attorney-General intervened in the matter of Bill Wilson in the Supreme Court.
The document shows that. What's the source of this document?
It's a request, that particular one from the Prime Minister.
Leave is sought to table a document that was an OAI request from the Prime Minister. Is any objection? There is no objection.
The second document is a similar document which shows that the Attorney-General claimed to be a close friend.
I want to know exactly the source of the document.
An OIA request again from the Prime Minister.
So the document is from the Prime Minister's office?
Well, I think in fact it's a memorandum to the Prime Minister.
I need to know the source of the document for the House.
Well, the source of the document is an OIA request from the Prime Minister.
An OIA request from the Prime Minister? The Prime Minister wouldn't be making OIA requests.
Sorry.
Order. I want to make...
It is an OIA request to the Prime Minister. The document came from that set of documents.
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is objection. The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
The next document is from the Prime Minister, which shows after concerns were raised with the Attorney-General being a close friend, the matter was transferred to Judith Collins.
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is objection.
And the fourth document is a document which shows that the Attorney-General's friend...
Order. I want to know the source of the document before we hear what the document might show.
In this particular case, it's a press clipping, sir.
No, we're not going there. Order. Order. That'll be enough. This is a point of order. And we've had sufficient. Question number 6, Mark Mitchell.